how did you start this journey, and what motivated you that you should be starting this journey as a project consultant now?
So I'm second generation family business, third generation from project industry perspective. So my grandfather used to set up factories for Indian Hume pipes. Uh, that is, I think, so that is how the projects came into the bloodstream of our next generations. My father is a civil engineer. He started his own company in 1989, and post that, my brother followed his footsteps, became a civil engineer. I wanted to do something different, so I chose engineering as a background. But then we went on adding process and operations and design to my knowledge base since childhood. So, being from a civil industry as a kid, I was always fascinated with the projects which were created all around us. I still remember there's a photo of me, age 5 years old, standing on a flyover being constructed at Vile Parle, where my father had designed that and I was standing there. The feeling, perhaps, what I get now also, or whenever I cross that flyover, is like, yes, there was someone like me, a small kid who was me, standing there while it was being created. So that sense of creation is something which actually took me towards projects, towards project management, towards project consulting. Uh, there's a very funny saying in project management. If you so every project manager uh, is theoretically a developer, but he's basically using someone else's funds and aspiring to become a developer using his funds and creating things for him. But he is enjoying the process of creation. So any and every person who wishes to get that sense of creation, creation of real estate, creation of any infrastructure, uh, should pursue project management is what I see. And whatever buildings we construct, they are going to stay lifelong. They are going to be something which is a form of a legacy which we leave behind, because a construction project is the actual real estate, which is what is left. Even if the time, it's a timeless structure, it stays, it withstands all the situations around it, and it creates a landmark. It basically defines a city, defines an environment. So that is something which I always look up towards a project. It's a sense of creation. It's a sense of creating a legacy, leaving behind some aspirational values for the next generation to take up.
So talking about legacies and that buildings, infrastructures, they stay for a very long time. Any basic trend which we are focusing right now in Pune, or this is a trend which is happening nowadays?
Uh, See, the trend in Pune, if you just focus on Pune, or if you focus on any tier A cities, I'll account Pune under the tier A cities now, uh, is everything is moving vertical. You are seeing high rises being constructed. You are seeing a lot of infrastructure development, a lot of money being pumped up. Bombay projects, Pune projects, we are seeing flyovers, we are seeing metros. This is to cope up with the ongoing demand of our population. There's a space constraint, that's the reason we are pushing vertical. There's a space constraint, that's the reason why we are enhancing the infrastructure, adding new elements to the infrastructure. But the thing is, there is also a trend where people wish to have a sustainable structure, where we are supporting, or at least we are not disturbing the surrounding nature. Bylaws are in place. Bylaws are being respected by the developers. The development is taking
I'll
into
cut you
control.
here, but as a labor law advocate, at the end of the day, I am not seeing that trend with builders. I may be wrong over here. Maybe I'm making a very bold statement over here. Why is it that we call the builders as an unorganized sector who do not want to go with the bylaws? Like you rightly said, right now it is changing, it is coming. Like the things which were not there previously, they are quite taking up a huge turn right now, and builders are mainly going behind following, because as I said, it's mandatory for you to follow labor laws no matter what. So how do you combat with such situations? Because I am facing such situations every day wherein builders are just not ready. They are saying कि देख लेंगे, चला लेंगे, आने के बाद देख लेंगे, मैटर पैसों की तो बात है. So these words are quite coming into my domain. I am not sure about you. So can you just throw some light on this?
See, you are right. In a way, yes. Why? Because labor has been always treated as uneducated. Okay, they don't know what rights they have. They don't know, or they never knew, or they were the reason why they were kept uneducated was they will be cheaper to handle. That's the reality. We are very sorry to say, but that's how you separate a labor and you separate a person who is going to basically pay him for whatever work he does. Times are changing due to revolutions, due to significant developments happening in labor-driven states, which predominantly was delivering maximum amount of good quality labor to all these tier A cities. Lot of development is happening in their states. Lot of development is happening in their vicinity where they used to stay. So they don't need to now travel to the cities. So what do? How do we get the labor? Because the construction industry is booming right now. The development is at a year on year we are growing at a rate of around 10 to 15%, and the spike post COVID, the way construction industry has boomed is huge. That the dead stock of investments is moving. New construction demands are picking up. So we need labor. Now there are two things what are happening is the consumer who is going to buy any real estate has an option because the volume of availability is excess. It's very much available. But the consumer is also now validating the brand with whom he is going to get associated, the developer with whom he is associated. Now the brand is of any developer or any organization is defined by the ethics it follows and the mode and the method and the path it chooses to do the transaction. It has to be clear, it has to be transparent. Any accident or any default with regards to any bylaws is going to directly impact the brand itself. That is where now judicious developers, judicious constructors are choosing a right way of following the bylaws. They're moving in that direction. I will never say that we are there 100%. It's a growing market. It has been kept unorganized for a reason to keep the price check. But there is a movement in the direction where we want to provide good services or good facilities to the labor. In return, they will come to our sites to operate. We will educate them with their with safety requirements, with hygiene requirements, with construction methodologies or work methods, what they have to execute. In return, they will deliver a good quality product within time, within the budget, what we wish to deliver.
And what role is technology playing here? Is it something where technology is growing and only because of that reason maybe there is a scarcity of laborers which is happening right now?
I'll take it in the way I would take it is in a different way. Anywhere the necessity of technology, if you see any industry, the necessity of technology is driven by a cause, by a requirement. Current requirement talks about speedy construction, good quality construction. Dependency on labor has to be reduced because the availability of labor is less. Now, if I was executing, let's say, 1,000 square feet in a day, today, at this moment, there will be 1 lakh square feet being executed. The labor has to be displaced all across this 1 lakh square feet. Availability of labor, as I said, is quite less because they don't want to come here. They don't. If we don't give good facilities, they will not come to work with us. So, considering that, technology is basically something where we would reduce the dependencies on these labors. enhance the requirement and enhance the quality requirement, achieve timely and cost efficient solutions. That is the direction in which this technology is moving. Plus, 20 years back, you would have never seen a building structure which was 10-story high. Okay, uh, my company right now would be is designing as of at this moment Pune's tallest tower, which is going to be 170 meters. So 20 years back, we were talking about not more than 35 meters or 40 meters building. That was too high for us.
Yeah.
Today, we are comfortable talking about 170 meters.
Yeah.
So that is the direction in which, and if you want to achieve something like that, we have to enhance the technology. We cannot have a single laborer coming using ply shuttering, hammering all the way till 170 meters. The safety requirements have changed. That's the reason why technology has to come in picture.
Yeah. And you, as a project management consultant, what new technologies are you using right now?
Precast is the technology what we are definitely seeing becoming mainstream in next 10 years.
Okay.
We are seeing participants from various industries who want to develop data centers, who wish to develop their commercial establishment, commercial buildings, office buildings, residential buildings. Industrial projects had already adopted precast way back 15 years back. There's a very funny situation. So my father was working with Zog Engineering, and they had picked up few projects in under Shiv Shahi Prakalpa. So they had to basically create SRA, slum rehabilitation setups, and they had fixed mandate. So they have to deliver XYZ number of flats in 6 months, 10 months. The targets were very tight, and the technology was not available during that time. This is 1996, so anything and everything was unknown. So what to do, how to do, there was people used to still be working on blueprints. There was no laptop, there were no desktops. People used to be printing. Ammonia prints will be used for studying the drawings and executing the works. My dad had introduced precast for that specific project. It is in Mankur. It is very much standing. It is still being occupied. People are living there, and it created a space for the Mankur railway station. That project was executed in precast in 1996. That is a residential project which was executed in 1996. We had no cranes to lift elements. We had no molds or factories to manufacture structural elements. So these structural elements the molds were designed at site, casted at site. There were no cranes available. So as an engineer, he retrofitted the existing crane which can handle precast elements, and it can behave like a installation crane. That is how technology has evolved. Now we have cranes of any shapes and sizes available in India. But so that is the path what we have come across to solve a problem, to solve a requirement.
So, as a project management consultant, what is your role exactly? Because there are many stakeholders who are here. I
True.
can see there.
True.
There's a builder, there are laborers, maybe there are contract laborers as well, and then it's you.
True.
So, where do you fit in this?
In a nutshell, okay, as per the document, the way we write the contract, we are client's representative. We
Who is
enact.
the client over you?
Client would be the person who is paying for the entire project.
Okay.
So he may be a fund,
Okay.
he may be a developer who owns the land
Okay.
and who is financing the project.
Okay.
Okay. So person who is a paymaster for the entire project. We are the representatives for that client. Now, when we say we are client representatives, I am basically enacting as a client in his absence.
Okay. So, do you decide what length the building will be or
No.
the structure will be?
So the way it happens is we have design consultants who are appointed, who are given a design brief. They will design the entire structure, entire premises of the complex, which is signed by the client, and then we start implementing that design physically at site.
Okay.
So we have designers, we have project managers, we have contractors. These are the three core elements which drive this project to the fulfillment of
Right.
whatever the brief has been.
Network, which is your networking platform, anything which you're using right now, or is it that the second generation you have just got what your father has given you? What are you doing for your networking right
See, networking has been always. See, I am for my company. I am the visionary.
now? Okay.
So I visualize where these projects, how these projects are going to be executed, and what's the next step this company is going to take up.
Okay.
We started small in 2012. I joined Advent in 2012. Prior to that,
How
I was
old
working.
is Advent now?
Advent will be right now 14 years old.
Okay.
So that has been, so Advent was just in a very nascent stage when I joined Advent. I was 25 years old. My dad had given me the opportunity to be part of this
Right.
company.
Right.
I had no knowledge how a construction site works, how it operates. But thankfully, my clients and my dad had been quite supportive. They gave me all the access to the sites, all the documents. That has been the most important 2-3 years, which actually molded me towards becoming a better project director, better visionary with regards to project execution. Hands-on experience, so I have spent 10 hours on site, standing, observing, asking questions, going, checking back with documents, reading about it, testing out things, experimenting with design, and then learning from our mistakes and moving forward.
Coming back to the networking part, what are your networking criterias right now? How do you networking? Like, you want to go ahead for this project.
Okay.
You know that this project is going to happen, and maybe they are appointing some or the other project management consultant for it. So how do you go about it? What is your
So what we have done is we have been part of this industry for a good period of time. We do have references within the industries who can
Right.
easily connect us to the associated party,
Right.
and I have built a network around me for my business development, who would basically share the knowledge of what we have been doing, and the best way to connect with everyone is to go and straight away meet that person.
And what about your competitors right now?
Competition is always going to be there.
Yeah, of course.
So the
I
thing
feel
is,
just my question is it crowded or no? What do you feel about it?
see, it is not crowded on the top.
Okay.
So if you are a subject matter expert,
Yeah.
if you have the experience and if you have showcased a learning curve towards the projects what you have been doing, and if you have harnessed a sufficient database with regards to how you want to tackle these variables,
Right.
that's a very niche market with regards to
Okay.
projects. So we have always been interested in executing some unique projects, some complex projects. So more the challenges, more the interesting the project becomes for us. We have always tried to stay away from run-of-the-mill projects,
Right.
where our value addition with the project will be very limited. It is basically a cookie cutter project which we are just. Then the project becomes an operational situation. It doesn't remain as a project. In operation, you are just repeating the same task again and again. In project, there is a variable for each and every step what we take.
Right.
So, and I'll come back to the networking part. Meeting people, visiting different conferences.
Right.
Healthcare was not something which was existing in our portfolio in 2019.
Okay.
Right now, we are executing around 20 lakh square feet of healthcare.
Oh, okay.
So that is how we took it up. We wanted to enter because we saw market growing in that direction.
Right.
It's one of the most challenging environment because we are going to deal with a lot of services, a lot of plumbing, a lot of fighting works, a lot of electrical, a lot of air conditioning. Plus, we have to deliver a project within a tight timeline because in real estate, you sell something. Okay, in healthcare, as fast as possible you start the hospital, the faster the revenue begins.
You're talking about healthcare. Why healthcare all of a sudden?
Uh, 2019, there was the funding which was going towards healthcare was very limited. What we saw, and we witnessed this post when COVID struck.
Right, right. I was about to ask
Yeah.
that.
So that is where we started sudden movement of funds of investors towards healthcare. There was a complete phase shift in the mentality of investors also,
Right.
and also general public
We
also,
started,
that
I
we
guess,
require.
more startups also coming in the.
Exactly, because suddenly we were shown this is the gap.
Yeah.
This is where we are struggling. We did not have sufficient infrastructure available for the pandemic which we faced. So it was a complete eye opener. People saw it as an opportunity. New startups came up to overcome. See, every time there is a change in a requirement, people will step up. That is how a technology will evolve. That is how a
Right.
business will evolve.
Right.
That is where we saw a gap. We introduced ourselves as a project management consultants with regards to hospitals. We
Healthcare.
started with small clinics,
Right.
then we expanded towards a 2 lakh square feet building.
Right.
Now we have expanded ourselves to a 8 lakh square feet structure, which is going to cater to around 500 bedded
Right.
hospital.
So, is there a specific criteria do you look after? Like, this is kind of project I'm looking for, or maybe this is not, and maybe based on that you decide maybe these are the people you want to meet and these are the people you do not want to meet. Is there any kind of bifurcation which is there in your mind right now?
Yes. So, with regards to bifurcation, I will not say bifurcation. It is the way of thought, the way of
Right.
the what kind of products, what kind of projects that a developer or that person has executed in past. Uh, See, as a project management consultant, you need to tune. See, you're going to become a client's representative.
Right.
You need to be in sync with his wavelength. Then only that partnership is going to be successful
Right. Right.
at
Yes,
the
you
project
can call
stage.
it a partnership.
It is a partnership.
Yes.
It is each and every stakeholder has to run together to achieve whatever the project asks for.
Yes.
If I have someone who's going to just walk and then expect everyone else to sprint for him, that is not going to
But
possible.
you
It's
can
a team.
rightly say over here that, as we say, HRs make or break a company. Maybe project management consultants make or break
Yes.
a project.
Yes. So, project management companies have the ability to choose their own team.
I did not get what.
Yeah. So we select the design consultants.
Okay.
We select the contractors.
Right.
We define the project timelines. We
Right.
define the method of construction.
Correct.
So, project management consultants are given only confinements of time and cost.
Correct.
Okay, and also a product, a generic brief of a product, how that building or that structure has to be executed. Past that, everything is what a project manager has to define.
What if the client is not in sync with you? What
We
if he
make him
does
aware.
not?
We make him aware. So that is where me or my project managers come into picture. We sit with them. We explain. These are the options what we have. If you choose this, this is going to happen. If you choose the option B, these are the outputs what you're going to get. So it's basically cause effect models what we have to explain them. And how can we generate this? This is based on our past experiences. We carry our past experiences. We tell them these are the areas where we failed.
Right.
This is our learnings from our failures, and that is how we want to take it forward.
And what if me as a client, I want to develop it on my own? Is it okay if I'm not going ahead without you?
See, you can see anyone and everyone can develop. Okay,
Okay.
You can be a carpenter by yourself.
Yeah.
You can be a painter by yourself. You can be a plumber by yourself, and you can be a designer by yourself.
Okay, but why do I need you?
Correct. But the thing is, exactly why you are answering my own question. So when I put all these traits in front of you, okay, You can be an estimator, you can be a design evaluator,
Yeah.
anything and everything is done. But then, why do you appoint a subject matter expert? You can be a doctor by yourself. Google is a great example. You can choose your own medicines.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
But then, why do you go to a subject matter specialist? Because you want to avoid mistakes. You want to learn from his experience and gain the most for yourself.
Correct.
Whatever X value you're going to pay to that consultant, you're going to reap 10x benefits from that experience.
And coming to payments,
Okay?
can that be a challenge? Because of course we are of that opinion, and I want to hear it from you. How does it go? Is it delayed, or it's just prompt, or of course might be delayed? We do not know that, but let's just hear about it.
Well, we have personally as a company seen theoretical recessions in the industry. We have seen the 2010 to 2013 recession where construction literally stopped.
Right.
There were developments which were halted midway. And we again saw a drop in demand around 2017 to 2019, 2016 to 2019, what we saw. That it was a struggle with regards to payments. There are a lot of outstandings still yet to be recovered from past 3-4 years. Again, the purpose is, the way we work is, we work on relations.
Right.
We are not transactory partners.
Right.
We are partners of your project.
Right.
We are your well-wishers. We work on the relations. That is the reason why having a good wavelength with your client is the most important requirement. You need to understand your client. You need to understand the sufferings he is going through.
Right, because
You may need to suffer because the sufferings
Right.
he is going through.
Right, right. Very
There
true.
are times where you cannot be binary. You cannot be a yes or a no. You cannot be black and white. There are areas where you have to be grey with regards to dealings with those clients. There are outstandings. Yes, I never say that they are not outstandings.
But just you're saying, just because of you maintaining relationships, have you ever thought of, no, this is becoming quite a limit now?
Yes.
I think we should go ahead for
Yes.
legal action or something like that. Have you gone in that direction at any moment?
Thankfully, no. Thankfully, I had been lucky.
Okay.
There are friends who have gone through that. There are
Right.
sufferings which they have faced.
Right.
There have been arbitrations still going on for last 10 years, which we have observed. That all emerges in how well you document your contract.
Oh.
That is the most important document for any consultant, because consultants in India,
Yeah.
they know their trade. They are excellent in their technical trade, but they are bad in people skills. They are bad in documentation.
I agree with the contract part altogether, but what about the opposite party over here?
See, you need to convince, right? A legal document, a contract document, is an agreement between two parties, right?
Correct.
So you have to explain why these clauses are mandatory.
Very true.
And again, relationship plays a very important role.
Yeah. What is that one tip, or maybe that one advice, be it cliche, be it non-cliche, whatever, according to your convenience? What will be that tip for the person who is just want to enter the industry and really wants to make it something big in the infrastructure industry? Maybe networking can be one available way for that person. What can be the other things? Because I feel, according to me, networking works a lot. As you said rightly, also building relationships, networking, yes, amazing thing. But what else technically?
Okay. So we are doing few projects with certain big, large-scale universities who are catering to engineering students, who are giving out degrees, master's degrees for that. And there is a gap. The talent pool in civil industry is missing,
Okay.
because we started with electrical, mechanical, civil as the main streams of our engineering. Then we evolved to computer science when we added IT, we added instrumentation, we added ENT. Civil industry does not have the glamour. We will be
Glamour.
always, civil industry will never have the glamour.
Okay.
It is us who have to bring the glamour to that industry.
Okay.
Why? Because this is one sector right now which is unorganized. So if you are a person who is strong, who has the ability of bringing people together, who has the leadership qualities, civil industry is your go-to areas. Technology is something we call our industry to be backward with regards to technology. We are seeing huge leaps being taken by our industries with regards to technology, with regards to the progress, and it's a never-ending field. Until and unless there are humans, you need habitats, you need spaces to socialize, you need spaces to work. So it's a never-ending space. For the aspirants who are already in this field, don't shy away from asking questions. Never ever. Always ask questions. You have a query, put it forward. Test out things, experiment things, burn your fingers, learn from your mistakes. That is how you will improve upon yourself. And always be outspoken, always speak out what you feel. That is how the next generation should be.
Right.
Don't shy away, because then you'll be not noticed. Then you'll be lost in the crowd.
Are networking events a good platform for new project management consultants to enter the market?
In what way? What do you mean by networking events?
So I would like to say that when we say networking events, they say there are a particular construction people or like architects coming in, interior designers coming in. Why don't you go and network over there? You'll get amazing connects, and maybe you'll get a good project which might, make in numbers for him. So
I'll wait there. So jumping to the project is quite far, but
Okay.
networking, as I said, learning from others is one of the most important key elements to become a project consultant.
Okay.
A project consultant is supposed to be known as a good counsel with regards to any situation. Because if he's a problem fixer,
Right.
he needs to understand what problem really means. So these events, what we are referring to, would be definitely something which will enhance his knowledge base. Plus, he gets the exposure of meeting consultants.
Will trust be a good thing to be judged in this scenario?
Yes. See,
Which
we
can-
will be always gauged based on how we interact with the person. Trust plays a very crucial role with regards to being a consultant.
So I guess this plays a very good role when it comes to networking.
Yes.
events.
So knowing a person, interacting with that person, sharing your life story, learning from his life story is a good start point for building associates around you. We all work in collaboration. We all work in associations. If I have a project where I feel one architect which I know can contribute more,
Right.
I would always introduce that architect to that field. Same way the architect also may be introducing.
But is there a standard, like, it's okay, a group of networking people are just gathering, it's okay for me to be there?
There's no standard as such. You see, you need to visit multiple networking events
Right.
to understand what kind of setup you're really.
And maybe you also get to know what is going on in the market right now.
Exactly. So networking events will always give you that exposure where the trend is moving.
Right.
So when I mentioned healthcare, we had just started with a hospital which is very close by from here, and the doctor himself insisted that go and visit exhibitions, go and visit conferences.
Right.
That is where I really understood where this industry is going to move towards.
Correct.
So networking events are eye-openers at times. It will give you exposure how people are dealing with this, with the surrounding. And as a person who wishes to become a consultant in future, you are basically seeing how a consultant really behaves in public.
And how do you go about, I see Instagram ads, Google ads.
We don't. We have not gone there yet.
Okay.
Perhaps that's the reason we are quite laid back. We are very low technology driven. But yes, data analytics is something which we are really working on. Social media,
Right.
communication,
Right.
expressing yourself, telling about your projects.
Correct.
Because at the end, through these mediums, you're sharing what you have learned also.
Correct.
So that becomes a very good start point to talk about your future projects.